Welcome to the first episode of Why It Matters, a new podcast series from the Straits Times that takes a close look at one key talking point in the news each week. My name is Jeremy Au Yong and I'm your host, and we are here in the Straits Times newsroom. This week, we will be discussing traffic, specifically the discretionary right turn. And with me, I have transport correspondent Adrian Lim. Hi, Adrian.
Hi, Jeremy.
Okay, so let's just get right into it. Adrian, tell us what a discretionary right turn is and why it's been in the news so much.
Okay, so a discretionary right turn basically is located at junctions and it gives the motorist, as his name says, the discretion turn right when the lights are green. Of course, he would have to watch out for oncoming traffic and he would have to watch out for pedestrians which might be crossing into his path. So why has it been in the news recently? Because there were two accidents involving discretionary right turns. Both involve one fatality each. So that's why it's come to the forefront of the news recently.
My sense is when the response to the two fatal accidents that took place, I guess, a few days apart, was that people are saying that the discretionary right turn, this turn where both sides, oncoming traffic is also facing a green light, but you can turn if you think the coast is clear. They're saying this discretionary right turn is dangerous. Is that true?
Well, in the strictest of sense, absolutely, because as most people already know, 90% of accidents on the road are actually caused by human error.
90%?
Yes, 90%. So this could be bad judgment, being distracted, and so the problem with the discretionary right turn primarily is that it places the onus on the motorist to decide when to turn. He has to find a gap in the traffic, and he also look out for pedestrians. I guess depending on what state of mind you're in, you could be thinking about something else while you're on the road, and you might not be able to judge the speed of the oncoming cars correctly, and it could result in some fatal results.
But these discretionary right turns are not new, right? They've been around a while, and it feels to me like they're all over the place.
Yes, they are all over the place. So there are about 1,600 junctions in Singapore, and so far the LTA has, the Land Transport Authority has removed the discretionary right turn in about 200 junctions. And they plan to do so for the remaining junctions wherever possible in the next 5 years.
So they are trying to basically eliminate this discretionary right turn.
Yes, you're right. And in place of that, they were going to have something called RAG, which is the red, amber, green arrows. So that means that if you're a motorist and you're at a junction, you're not allowed to turn right when the red arrow is on. You have to wait for a green arrow and then turn right. And when it's a green arrow, you will have no conflict with any other traffic, be it pedestrians or oncoming traffic. It's a green light basically to say go.
Okay.
So you have more certainty when you're turning.
Is this move by the LTA to try and remove all these discretionary right turns, is it something they've been already doing, or is this actually a response to these two accidents?
This is something that they've been doing for quite some time. I think there were a couple of what we call black spots, which is where there are many accidents taking place, and they have implemented red, amber, green arrows, which I mentioned earlier, at these junctions, and took away the discretionary right turn. And I think they have seen some big improvements in safety and accident rates.
It has been so clear that these right turns at these junctions are dangerous. Why do we have so many of them in the first place?
Okay, from a traffic design point of view, discretionary right turns help to optimize traffic flow. So imagine during an off-peak period when the oncoming traffic flow is not heavy, it would be a waste of green light time if you had to wait to do the right turn just because you were facing a red arrow. But if you had a green light and you could use your discretion to turn, then during the off-peak hour, you could just make the turn. So obviously, discretionary right turns are good for off-peak periods because they facilitate traffic flow.
If the LTA were to get rid of it, does that mean everybody is just going to be waiting longer at the traffic light?
Yes, so that will likely be the case. Motorists will have to be more patient on the roads. They have to wait their turn. But But it goes a long way in getting rid of any uncertainty in making the turn. As you probably would know, sometimes when you yourself are making a right turn and you're at the front of the queue,
Yep.
you have people honking behind because they think you're not making the turn fast enough, or so. I guess that also, with the red, amber, green arrows, we're going to remove some of this impatience, because there's no way you can turn anymore out of your own discretion. So yes, I think traffic might be a bit slower, and don't forget, traffic is a big system.
Right.
So while you're held at one junction, next junction probably. So traffic works in a way where all the traffic junctions are synchronized to a certain timing. That means if you cross one junction at a green light, and by right the next set of traffic lights should facilitate your flow into the.
Is that
faster
true?
junction.
I feel like I get caught in one. I've made it past a green light, and then especially when I'm late, I encounter red lights all the time.
When we change up the timing for one junction, inevitably you're going to affect the timings for another junction. So it's a quite complex change that we're talking about here.
I read somewhere, I think you're the one that wrote about it, that there's a certain limit that they try to keep drivers at a junction, right? Something like 2 minutes.
Yeah. So
so if you add one, that's going to take away everybody else's green time.
Okay, so it's something called a cycle time, which is in Singapore it's about 120 seconds. So 120 seconds is time it takes for each lane of traffic to have its green time, whether it be pedestrians or be it cars. So when we introduce this red, amber, green arrow system, it's gonna either take away green time from some other users and still keep it at 120 seconds, or we are going to add on to this cycle time to make it a bit longer. So that means motorists will have to wait longer. So that means if you reach the junction at the end of the cycle time, you would have to wait 2 minutes for your turn to come again. That's what the cycle time means.
Right. Okay, so I want to bring you back to the other point. You said they've studied junctions where they had the discretionary right turn, and then they introduced this red, amber, green light to remove that discretion, and accidents fell. Is that right?
Right, that's right.
Did it eliminate accidents?
No, not at all. Accident rates fell, but accidents cannot be eliminated totally by changing the infrastructure. Having good and safe traffic design obviously helps, but there are still cases where accidents happen. So you can't expect all accidents to go away. Because there's always still the risk of human error. For example, even with the red, amber, green arrow system, motorists could still beat the red arrow, for example, and try and make a turn, and that might put him in the path of oncoming traffic, and that could be a serious accident.
There's nothing you can install to fix bad driving, I guess.
We could install more cameras, for example, to provide more surveillance and watch out for these cases of bad behavior. But no, I don't think it's possible to totally get rid of accidents.
Okay, so I guess the takeaway here is drive safe, regardless of what the traffic light is.
Yes, absolutely. You have to drive defensively. Always look out for traffic. But even if it's you have the right of way, it's not guaranteed that there might not be some other errant motorists in your path.
All right. That should do it. Thanks, Adrian. Great talking to you. And that's the end of this episode. Catch the next episode of Why It Matters next Wednesday. In the meantime, look out for more podcasts on various topics at straitstimes.com.